Dada Vaidya Memorial Lecture, a session dedicated to honoring the legacy and vision of Dr. Dada Vaidya. With this, I now hand over the proceeding of the program back to Ma'am Akshata. She will gracefully take us forward into the next segment of today's event. Thank you.
Thank you everyone. And now for the main event that we are eagerly looking forward. Dr. Dada Vaidya Memorial Lecture Series titled Education in the Current Socio-Cultural Milieu. It is a pleasure to have our guest of honor and keynote speaker, Shri Pandurang Nadkarni, former chairman of Goa Board of Secondary and Higher Education. To know more about our guest, I now invite Rajat.
नमस्कार. हांगा उपस्थित आशिल्ले सगळे मानेस्त आनी समेस्त इश्ट मित्रां, म्हजो माय मोगाचो येवकार. इश्टानो, ज्ञानपीठकार रवींद्रबाब केळेकार हांणी म्हणलां, सत्यांचं उतराक वजन येतलें, चारित्र्याक तेज येतलें. आनी अशेंच एक व्यक्ती जांच्या उतराक, जांच्या लिखणेक एक वेगळीच धार आसा आनी जांच्या चारित्र्या कडल्यान प्रेरणा घेवन कितलेशेच प्रतिभावंत विद्यार्थी घडल्यात, ते म्हणल्यार आमचे सगळ्यांचे आदरणीय भोवमानाधिक पांडुरंग नाडकर्णी सर. गोंयचे साहित्यीक, शिक्षणीक, सामाजीक मळार वावुरपी एक गुरुतुल्य व्यक्तिमत्व. सैम संपन्न आनी संस्कृतायेची गिरेस्तकाय लागिल्ल्या धार बांदोड्या वाठारांत तुमचो जल्म जालो. शिक्षणा विशीं जिद्द आनी तळमळ आशिल्ल्यान MA आनी MEd मेरेनचें शिक्षण तुमी पुराय केलें. आनी सांगपाक खूब खोस जाता की सर आमच्या GVMs आल्मेदा हायस्कुलाचे माजी विद्यार्थी जावन आसात. आपलें शिक्षण पुराय केले उपरांत सरान आपलो शिक्षकी प्रवास सुरू केलो. गोमंतक विद्यालयाचे प्राचार्य म्हणटानी वावर करून कितलेशेच प्रतिभावंत विद्यार्थी घडयले. तशेंच इग्नू ह्या संस्थे खाला MAच्या विद्यार्थ्यांक तांणी मार्गदर्शनूय केलें. गोंय माध्यमीक आनी उच्च माध्यमीक शिक्षण मंडळाचे आदले अध्यक्ष, गोवा सर्व शिक्षा अभियान गोंय सरकारचे माजी राज्य प्रकल्प संचालक, तशेंच गोवा प्रदेश साने गुरुजी कथामालेचे अध्यक्ष म्हूण सरान भोव मोलादीक कार्य केलां. तांणी वेवस्थापना, प्राचार्य, शिक्षक, पालक आनी विद्यार्थ्यां खातीर वेगवेगळ्या विशयाच्यो कार्यशाळा आनी शिबिरां घडोवन हाडल्यात. स्कूल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन सिम्प्लिफायड आनी पाखांट्या बगर भुर्र अशीं तांचीं पुस्तकां प्रकाशीत जाल्यात. शिक्षण, प्रशासन, भारतीय संस्कृती अशा साबार विशयांचेर सर सातत्यान दिसाळ्यांनी आनी नेमाळ्यांनी बरयतात. तांणी केल्ल्या वावरा खातीर तांकां जायते प्रतिश्ठेचे राज्य तशेंच राष्ट्रीय पुरस्कार फावो जाल्यात. हांव सर तुमकां माय मोगाचो येवकार दिता आनी मागता सगळ्यां लागीं की ताळयांच्या सांगातान आमी भोवमानेस्त पांडुरंग नाडकर्णी सर तांकां येवकार दिवया. हांव मागता सरा लागीं आनी ह्या वेळार आपलें उलोवप व्यक्त करचें.
नमस्कार. गुड इवनिंग. भास्कर खांडेपारकार, गोवा विद्याप्रसारक मंडळाच्या जनरल बॉडीचे अध्यक्ष डॉक्टर कृष्णा शिंदे, गोवा विद्याप्रसारक मंडळाच्या कार्यकारी समितीचे अध्यक्ष गांवकार, जे सचिव असतात कार्यकारी मंडळाचे, इतर उपस्थित गोवा विद्याप्रसारक मंडळाचे माजी आणि तशेंच आतांचे सदस्य, हांगा उपस्थित वेगवेगळ्या संस्थांचे प्रतिनिधी आणि मोगाळ, मोवाळ, कुकुरबाईच्या शिकपी भुरग्यांनो. इनफॅक्ट I congratulate Dr. Udesh Natekar for his felicitation. So also I congratulate Dr. Neena George, the officiating principal of this college. I pray Almighty for the speedy recovery of the principal who is not keeping in good health. I will not speak about Dada Vaidya because the fruits that the seeds that he sowed long back, I am one of the beneficiary. Now all of you are beneficiary as the student of the various institutions under Goa Vidya Prasarak Mandal. The topic given to me is education in current socio-cultural milieu. Now, I have a problem because education is a very complex and complicated issue or subject. Education starts from womb to tomb in a wider sense where we speak. But normally, for a child of 3 to 5 years, it will be just a pre-primary school. Whereas for high school, it will be high school education. For higher secondary, it will be higher secondary education. For college, it will be college education. For technical, it will be technical education. And for other professional colleges like medicine, engineering, etc., it will be professional colleges. So there is no end in it. Under these circumstances, I will just sum up with the background of what is current socio-cultural milieu, and thereafter I will come to the aspect of education. India is a country with 145 crores of population, number one in the world. We have overtaken China some 2 years back as far as the population is concerned, not as far as technology and other aspects is concerned. And 50% of this population is below 20 years. Normally school going from the age of 3 to 20, that means all school going students. Now this entire population of 50%, that is almost 71, 72 crores, could be assets or liabilities depending upon education. If proper education is provided, proper skills are provided, then naturally they will be asset. And if no proper education and proper skills are provided, they will be liability for themselves, to their family, and ultimately to the community and the country at large. I will just take you to the progress of human beings. Now all of you know that let us consider that human settlement came into existence some 3 lakh years ago. Let us presume 3 lakh years ago. Initially staying in caves and eating raw roots and fruits and raw flesh. That was the initial stage. Just for the sake of clarity, we can say that from 3 lakh you remove 1 0, come to 30,000. So the human being from 30,000 years ago. Thereafter again you remove 1 0. It is 3,000 years ago. Again you remove 1 0. It is 300 years ago. Again you remove 1 0. It is 30 years ago. You remove 1 0. 3 years ago. And today we cannot say 3 years ago. Just now. So this is how the world is developing, universe is developing as far as the technology is concerned. So every child born in this country has 1 mouth and 2 hands. So again I come, if proper education is provided, if proper skills are provided, only 1 mouth will eat, but he will work with 2 hands. So this is very important. Now, impact of science and technology over the years, last 350 years or so, since Industrial Revolution, we can end because of scientific research and innovations. There have been a lot of improved research in science and technology, and therefore there has been impact of science and technology on human beings. In the recent years, during last 30 years, it is information and communication technology. In the recent years, it has been digitization. Thereafter, recent, it is artificial intelligence. All these technological advancements will certainly play an important role in the field of education. Computer, initially when the computer was established, it was of big size as good as this building initially. Now subsequently, it is a laptop, and it could be even palm top also nowadays. So this is the progress. Then we have mobile. Some 30 years ago, 1995 or so, when people started using mobile. What type of mobile? Because it was surprising for everybody. But today, what type of mobile we have? It is a smartphone with internet. So with internet and with smartphone, really dunia mukti mein. That was what the tag of one of the companies, mobile company, dunia mukti mein. Many times I ask the students, you want smartphone? You want only a smartphone? How is that you do not want to be smart? So becoming smart is very important. You all dear students, becoming smart is very important, not just to have smart mobile phone. Of course, mobile phone, good or bad, both effects are there. I will come to the next aspect of industrialization and globalization aspect is the dwindling family system. Over the years, we have found the family system is dwindling. Joint family has practically ended. Even in Goa, we see almost on the verge of abolition. So nuclear families. With nuclear families, relations are vanishing. See, बापोल भाव, टिपोल भाव, बापोल बहीण, टिपोल बहीण, आत्या, मामा, मामी बहीण, मामी भाव, मावशे बहीण, सगळं everything gone. Everything gone. The word आका is no more. आका असताले पयलीं घरांत, आत्याक तर आका म्हणटाले गोंयांत. आका is no more today. भावोजी has become जिजू. Is it not? भावोजी कोण म्हणटा? जिजू म्हणटा सगळे आता. जिजाजी से म्हणटा जिजू. So nuclear family is vanishing relations, and you see the family system from we to ours to, the slogan initially some 55 years ago after liberation. For Goa we saw it after liberation. So we to ours to. Subsequently it became we to ours one, and now we two and yours one. I do not want to have child. I will go to any orphanage and I will adopt one. Because for conceiving and having child, there is always time. But everybody is after career, after the education, career, etc. And they decide not to have child. Of course, it is personal decision. We cannot blame anybody. But the result is that you go to some orphanage and get it adopted. Lack of family values, because in big family there is to be adjustment. बापायन तापयले, आवयन तापयले, काकीच्या पदराकडे वचून लीप, काकाच्या फाटल्यान राव. Today no such protection and shelters are available. आवयन तापयले जाल्यार तो भुरगो थंयच खंय तरी कोपऱ्याक आसता. आवय बरेपणान थंय जर गेली जाल्यार फायन, नाजाल्यार तो भुरगो कितें करता तें सांगपा जायना. We see this, they may take any extreme end step, the possibility is there. So lack of family values, lack of social values, lack of community values, and thus family vocation has been ended. एका वेळाचेर family vocation आशिल्लो. सगळे skills everybody is to learn from the family. Today it is not so. Goan carpenters are known. हांव सदांच सांगता, गोंयचे कार्पेंटर आहात, तो मिसायल करपाक सांग. गोंयचो कार्पेंटर आमची ओरिजिनल फॅमिलीच पळय आसा, ताका मिसायल करपाक लाय, तो मिसायल करतलो म्हणून. दॅट इज अ टॅलेंटेड. गोंयांत आर्मां करतात ते सगळे पयलीं शेतकार जे आशिल्ले तांचे लायसन्स नाशिल्लें. They used to have done manufactured by these carpenter families, and even आमचे सगळे movement, liberation movement जे पळय आशिल्ले ते सगळे they used to use these types of arms and ammunition and gun. So end of family vocation. Now I come to industrialization again because of industrialization there has been migration. With migration, urbanization, impact on civic facilities. आजूबाजूचे सगळे लोक खंय तरी येता आनी हांव धाडून उडयलो फोंड्यान रावलो नॅचरली इट हॅज इम्पॅक्ट ऑन दी सिवीक एम्युनिटीज इन फोंडा. So it is not only my example, several such examples are there. Floating population, increasing floating population, laborers everywhere. I just give example of Goa because we are in Goa. Our floating, which is floating population, it is the laborer is the floating population. All these laborers in construction industry, in fishing activities, even cashew distillation, the entire labor force is from Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh and Bihar. At one time it used to be from Bijapur, but it is not so. And thus because of this, there are environmental issues everywhere because you need more homes to live in. So flat, because of flat, naturally leveling of land and all that, and which are environmental issues, water supply, somewhere you have to construct dam to drinking water supply. So all such are problems. With this background, I will just go for international directives on education. During last almost 75, 77 years, at United Nations level, several directions are given to all the countries in the world. These are periodic directions. Every alternate year these directions come. This direction just in 1953, the major direction by UNESCO was then directed all countries in the world for education in mother tongue. This was the direction in 1953 because by 1947 to 1950, within a period of 3 to 5 years, almost 50 countries in the world got independence, taking inspiration from India. Almost 50 colonies in Africa and Asia, all colonies got independence. And that is the reason all these colonies used to continue their education in the colonial language. For example, in Goa, we continued with English, though Portuguese were rulers, but the rest of the country, British were the rulers. Then this, according to the findings of UNESCO, there is improvement in learning outcomes if learning is in mother tongue. It helps to understand, it helps to encourage reading, and reading helps for acquisition of knowledge. If you want to acquire knowledge, it is only through reading. आमचे पयलीं जाणटेले गांवांत चड शिकिल्ले आसनाशिल्ले, साधारण अशें वाचपाक कळटालें, पयलीं दुसरी सुद्दां न्ही, गांवांत कितें शिकयता तें शिकले. पूण तांचें रिडींग वास्ट आशिल्लें. And because of the reading, they had knowledge. आनी म्हणून मागीर बुदवंत, एकटो कोण तरी गांवांत वाड्यार बुदवंत आसतालो. The reason is that because of his experience, he must not have been educated, but because of his experience, he had solution for every problem, and therefore Budwan. In 1996, another important committee was appointed, that is known as very famous, all of you may know it, Deloitte Committee, in which the report Learning the Treasure Within, in which they laid emphasis on learning means learning to know, learning to do, that is skill education, learning to be, your personality development, learning to live together, social aspect of living together, moving together, because at home you may be pampered, but when you travel, when you come to school, you have to adjust with the society, with the community. The adjustment is very, very important. For first learning to know, I add two texts. The first tag is, I always say learning is learning to learn. Nobody tells how to learn. Parents tell अभ्यास करा, teacher सांगता अभ्यास करा, सगळं सांगता अभ्यास करा. पूण अभ्यास कसो करा हें कोण सांगना. कोणूच सांगना. स्कुलांनी सुद्दां सांगना. How to learn. Reading is first thing to learn. Referring dictionary is another thing to learn. So this is how their discussion, delivering another thing to learn. So there are several methods of learning. Then second tag is learning to think. This tag was given to me by famous Marathi writer and journalist Yadunnath Thakte. He always used to tell us that शिकणं म्हणजे विचार करायला शिकणं. But today what happens? We complete our education, and after completing our education, we first surrender to our politician. We go to MLA or a ruling politician. Job मतलब चली आता 12वी झालं, so आता 12वी कोणी ग्रॅज्युएट झाला, पोस्ट ग्रॅज्युएट झाला, ताका मातशी नोकरी खंय तरी पळया, किंवा B.Ed झाला, ताका खंय तरी नोकरी मातशी पळया. First we surrender. What is the use of this education if we go and surrender somebody? We should feel shame to surrender. We should be proud. Yes, I am educated, but unfortunately, it has become trend. Unfortunately, because with education, you always should have that pride, honor. That is what is important. In 2021, recently, there has been another international document by UNESCO, that is Education for Futures and Future of Education. Education for future and futures of education. You know, several aspects are given in that. One important aspect is education for the protection of the only living planet in the universe. Which is the only living planet in the universe? The Earth is the only living planet. There are several solar systems in the universe. And only solar system that we know is this solar system, that too now with 8 planets. When we studied, there used to be 9 planets, but now only 8 planets are there. So that is living, that is to protection of only living planet in universe. That is basically of the climate change. Then we have mentioned about lifelong learning, personalized and adaptive learning, technology integration, skill-based approach, and teacher has to serve as a guide. Wherever I conduct workshop for the teachers, I say, I tell the teachers, stop teaching, don't teach, encourage learning. Let the child learn. We never allow the child to learn. Let them learn. If difficulties are there, yes, you have to teach, you have to explain. Because 75% of the syllabi, the students will be very easy, for students it will be very easy to learn. Self-learning, cooperative learning, peer learning, these are the various aspects to come now. Focus on socio-emotional skills and multiple intelligence. Many times some teachers and parents, what is this 98% burge pass hota? Yes, true. Why? Every child is important. The education in pre-independence era and education in post-independence era is different. During post-independence era, every child is an asset to the country, provided we give proper education. This is very important. Now, coming to India at national level, some initiatives have been taken even during pre-independence period. That is Goods Dispatch 1854. The first, because in 1835, the British system of education was introduced by Lord Macaulay. And in 1854, Goods Dispatch emphasized learning through mother tongue. During British period itself, they said that if you want the people of India to learn, then let it be through their mother tongue. Then Hunter Commission in 1882 also emphasized on mother tongue education. Raleigh Commission in 1902 also emphasized on same thing, all. Sutter Commission 1917, Hartog Commission 1929, Sargent Plan 1944. And thereafter in 1947, after independence, Radhakrishnan Commission 1948, basically for university education, it was for university education. Then Mudaliar Commission for secondary education in 1952, and then Indian Education Commission headed by Dr. Kothari in 1964-66. Thereafter, no education commission has been appointed in the country. No education commission. And you know, sorry state of affairs, The recommendations of Dr. Kothari Commission have not been implemented even, it's almost 60 years. We are struggling for implementation. Even pre-primary education, it was mentioned in Kothari Commission report. Only thing they said that we will not deal with pre-primary education to that extent, since primary education is the focal point as far as Government of India is concerned. That is what is stated. Several recommendations, even about examination, continuous comprehensive evaluation, school-based assessment, internal assessment, everything. Thereafter came, on the basis of this recommendation, National Policy on Education 1968, there have been tremendous changes in the structure of education. Plus 2 stage was introduced, 11th and 12th. Plus 2 stage was not supposed to be independent stage. It was supposed to be attached to high schools. But it was for time being, it was attached to colleges, and therefore initially all these institutions were called as junior colleges. But we could not do it because funds could not be pumped in as required. Then National Policy on Education 1986, again several measures have been introduced, several measures as far as the examination is concerned, teaching learning processes, and several aspects of it. And now it is 2020. Even 2020 policy is based on 1966, 54, 66 report. It is based on 1986 education policy, but nobody mentioned it. But it is mentioned in 2020 National Education Policy that we are carrying forward all the efforts of the previous recommendations and efforts of all previous government. This is the statement in the 478 pages book that has come on national policy, in the National Education Policy 2020. So this is how. So several measures have been taken by Government of India, but because of various reasons, increasing population, then Right to Education Act 2009-10, prior to that making education as a fundamental right because of the decision of the Supreme Court. I will not go into it. I will, in concluding paragraph, it is education for future or in the current scenario. From theoretical knowledge to lifelong learning and practicals. It should be lifelong learning and practicals. In fact, it is said that what is knowledge? You complete your education, you forget everything, and thereafter you retain something, it is called as knowledge. After forgetting everything, if something is retained by you, it is a knowledge. So knowledge is important, and practicals, that is skills, are important. Social and emotional skills, you have to adjust with your emotions, you have to adjust with the society. Creativity, use of creativity, critical thinking, empathy, everything. Of course, now for last since 1986, their teachers have been oriented, trainings have been conducted. It is going on now also until 2020. Orientations are going on. Then education driven by technology, use of technology, e-learning, AI-powered learning. But AI-powered learning, we have to be very careful. Even e-learning, we have to be very careful. Even information that you have on Google, you have to be very particular and you have to be careful. Because it depends upon the information supplied by somebody or tagged by somebody. There is a possibility that Panda is the capital of Nigeria. You may get it, Panda is the capital of Nigeria. If I have given the feedback, Panda is the capital of Nigeria. It will be Panda is the capital of Nigeria. So student by mistake comes to know or learn about all such things. So therefore, the Google information, the e-information or AI information, one has to be very careful. What are the key things for the education in the current scenario? Adapting to uncertainty. there is uncertainty, we should know how to adapt. So preparing the student for uncertainty. Anything could happen. How to face this uncertainty. Prioritizing students' well-being. Happiness is more important. Students at a young age, they get several problems. Obesity is very common nowadays because child may not go out even to play in the morning school, in the afternoon tuition classes. If there are no tuition classes, it could be harmonium, tabla, bharatanatyam and something else. Because parents want that their child should be all around. Of course, there is no problem, but we have to see that there are several cases of unnatural death at the young age. All of you know Kota in Rajasthan. It is a coaching town in India. Do you know the problem faced by the students there? From where the students come? Students come from all over north. Could be from Goa also one or two. They do not take admission in the schools in Kota. They take admission in the locality. Unaided school. They pay the fee. They take admission, they are enrolled, they do not study there. Right from 6th standard also, they remain in Kota. The coaching starts from 6th standard for all professional, UPSC and other courses, competitive examination. And consequence of this, because of tension, because of psycho-emotional problem, because they are away from the families, the problem is that suicide. Every year, minimum 500 students attempt for suicide, and almost 100 students are successful in suicides. We know about the BITS Pilani, the recent issue. Institution cannot be connected with it. It could be the parent, it could be the student. We cannot blame the institution. Normally it comes as a blame. We will not blame the institution itself, because institution will never tell you commit suicide. Of course, the support, etc., I think they have counselor, etc. So this is what. Then fostering global understanding. We are administratively independent countries. Otherwise, we are dependent on each other country. We cannot say we do not want anything from any other country. We are interdependent. So therefore, global understanding is essential. Then preparing students for future jobs. The education should be such, anticipating what type of jobs will be there in the market of 10 years. Accordingly, the vocational skills to be imbibed among the students. We do not teach skills right from pre-primary to 12. And thereafter we ask the students, we say that 70% of India's economy is agro-based, but there is no agriculture anywhere in our educational system up to 12. No agriculture. How do we expect a child to soil hands after the age of 18 or 19? It is impossible. So agriculture should start right from pre-primary. But you may ask, what is this? What agriculture? You see, simple pot culture could be introduced. Let them put their hand in soil and grow some flower plants or something. Or coriander leaves could be, that is what I tell many times when I go for pre-primary teachers education. Coriander, grow coriander and give ek tang diya garagade always they are very happy. Students are very happy. So this is preparing students for future jobs which may not exist yet. So that means it is the responsibility of the administration, it is the responsibility of the government to work out how to go about what type of education after 5 years, 10 years, what jobs, whether it is self-job does not mean only employment, wage employment, it could be wage employment or self-employment. But the skills are very important. And with this, there are emerging trends in education is that increased digitization, again, increased digitization, flexible and remote learning, anytime examination, which may come anytime. Why should I wait till March to appear for SSC examination? I am ready in the month of February, I will appear, or in the month of January, I will appear for examination. NIOS has introduced this system. So flexibility in subject selection, which has already come, flexibility in subject selection, multidisciplinary approach, multi-faculty approach, that is already started now. Then holistic development, overall development of the child. His health, his growth, physical growth, mental growth, everything. In fact, the 1968 policy suggested for cumulative progress card. In fact, it was introduced, thereafter discarded. Now they speak about holistic, it is one and the same it is, holistic. But whether we have not yet started about holistic report card, there is everything. I remember in Kerala, you have a booklet. I do not know whether still government of Kerala continues it. A booklet wherein the child, right from 1st to 10, the performance is recorded, height, weight was recorded at least one time, height, weight, any ailment, specific ailment, so that when the child moves from one school to other school, the possibility is there that particular class teacher or the teacher of that school, after going through that report card, will come to know about the health problems of the child and will treat the child accordingly. Equity and accessibility. Now, equity and accessibility, of course, Goa, we are far better. Even at higher, our enrollment at the primary level 100% in 1995. Thereafter, successively, it is 100%. Some migrant laborers, but that too efforts are made. Out of school children, efforts are made to teach. At the college level, gross enrollment ratio is almost on par with several metro cities in India. Particularly, we can consider New Delhi, Bangalore. So this is how equity and accessibility of education and equity in education is very important. Equity is not only for equity and accessibility basically for scheduled tribe, OBC, also they are far better. So thus, all these parameters are to be considered while framing the education for the current scenario, taking into consideration the requirement of the country and requirement of the state for next at least 10 years, if not so. And thereafter it will be changing. So this is what is about the education in the current socio-cultural milieu. I thank the management, Mr. Shri and Mr. Pastor Pandurang and everybody else for giving me this opportunity, inviting me to present this lecture. It is an honor to speak in the name of the lecture and the founder, one of the founders of this Goa Dada Vaidya, Dr. Dada Vaidya, who had been a social reformer, industrialist, basically, and one thing, he went against the Portuguese government for allopathic and started prescribing his Ayurvedic prescription, Ayurvedic medicine. So thank you very much. Yeah. Any question? I did not answer it. You yourself could answer it. It's not necessary that I should answer. Any query, suggestion, could come welcome. Just for 1 or 2 minutes. खुबशा वर्कशॉपाक बी कितें जाता खुबशा वर्कशॉपाक बी निम्माणे जशें पावलें की कोणी उलोवपाक उठला ताका सुद्दां देंवयता कित्याक जातलें तें आमकां बस सुट्टा आमकां वचपाक जाय सकल देंवयता खुबशे वर्कशॉपाक सो दॅट नीड नॉट बी डिस्कशन एनीहाव थँक यू वेरी मच ऑल द बेस्ट टू द मॅनेजमेंट एंड सो ऑल्सो टू ऑल द स्टुडंट्स एंड स्टाफ ऑफ दिस कॉलेज थँक यू
I thank you, ma'am. I thank you, sir, for such a wonderful speech and the incredible insights that you have shared with us. Thank you. I thank one and all who have gathered here to celebrate the shared vision of Dr. Dada Vaidya, especially our dear guests. As a token of gratitude, I request Bhaskar Khandevarkar, President General Body of India to present a memento to Shri Pandurang Nadkarni sir, for gracing the occasion and sharing incredible insights. Thank you. It's been a wonderful time. I now request Dr. Gautam Gowde, Program Coordinator, to express the vote of thanks.
Good evening to everyone present here. It is my privilege and honor to extend a vote of thanks on behalf of GVM's Dr. Dada Vaidya Education on this memorable occasion of the birth anniversary of Dr. Dada Vaidya, the Felicitation of my dear students. First and foremost, I extend my sincere appreciation to our guest of honor, Shri Pandurang Nadkarni sir, former Goa Board Chairman, for sparing his valuable time to grace this occasion and for delivering the Dada Memorial Lecture. Thank you very much, sir, for your such a wonderful and enlightening lecture. Our deep appreciation goes to Shri Bhaskar Khandevarkar sir, President GVM's General Body, and Shri Krishna Chediya sir, Chairman GVM's Working Committee, for their thoughtful addresses and encouragement to our students and faculty. I sincerely thank our in-charge principal, Dr. Anna Nina George, for her constant support, guidance, leading today's program with kindness. A special mention for recognition to Dr. Udesh Natekar, the first PhD awardee student of our research center, whose achievement inspires our academic community. We acknowledge the presence of all the meritorious students whose achievement have brought pride to our college. We are deeply grateful to our esteemed guests, dignitaries, parents, teachers, alumni, and well-wishers who join us today and made this ceremony celebration meaningful. A word of appreciation also goes to our faculty members, non-teaching staffs, our students whose dedicated efforts ensure smooth organization of this program. Finally, I thank all the students who presented the welcome song and assisted in the proceedings, directly or indirectly, and added life to the event. I once again thank each one of you for a precious presence.